Hey everybody, this is Brenda Devine from Purpose 8 Institute, and you're listening to my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose, where we discuss the importance of purpose in our everyday lives. Discovering and living out your purpose keeps you focused on God's purpose. That is sharing the good news of salvation with others. This podcast is for people like me, still searching for the answers to who am I and why am I here? You and I were designed and created by God for purpose, and we have much to do. You can listen and subscribe to my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose with Brenda Devine on Anchor and all other podcast platforms. Hey, this is Brenda Devine from Purpose 8 Institute. Hey, I just want to say thank you for joining me for another episode of my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose. So today's topic is your distractions are killing your purpose. Yes, your distractions are killing your purpose. Now, this is whether you've yet to discover your purpose or if you're already engaged in living a life of purpose. Distractions can kill our purpose if we don't pay attention. We have so many distractions. We got family life, work life, social media. We have opinions, politics, the environment, money, sex, drugs, what people think, what people say, how you feel about something, your emotions, all this stuff distracts us and kills off our purpose. So if you are in the bucket of discovering your purpose, you have not yet heard, or maybe you have and you just decided you're not ready to move on and commit to your purpose, those distractions are going to suffocate your purpose. And when they suffocate your purpose, it's going to suffocate you because you were built for purpose. You wonder why you're vetting, you're anxious, you're nervous, you're jealous. It's because you're letting distractions suffocate your purpose. So think about that a little bit. What is distracting you? You haven't discovered your purpose yet, or you have, and you're in the critical stage. Anything can tip you off. This is where you have to be diligent about pursuing and discovering and acting on what is your purpose. It has to be something you chase after, you desire, you willingly want. It's not a fleeting thing you think about from time to time. It's something that you are in, that you want to be invested in, that you are investing your time, your prayers, your mind, your reading, your study. You are investing yourself. You're investing your time to discover your purpose or to have the faith to act on your purpose, what God has called you to do. So it's going to be hard for you because you're still young and ripe. Satan is looking for you. He is looking for ways to trip you up. One of the biggest distractions is pride. And the thing about pride is you don't always know what it is. We think it's one thing. We think it's arrogance. But pride is subtle. I suggest you do some studying about pride. I studied about pride because I thought the same thing about arrogance. Oh no, pride is a subtle evil. Pride is what brought down Lucifer from heaven. Pride is what tangled up his mind and made him think he was God. So distractions, we have to pay attention of being discerning and being present to know that there are distractions that are trying to suffocate us. It might be your feelings, your attitudes, your this and that. They suffocate you. They can suffocate you from your purpose. Now, the other bucket is the people like me, living a life of purpose. You made that commitment. You're in it. Your faith is on. You living your life of purpose. You know what your purpose is. You living it. But you got distractions too. Your distractions are going to get bigger. Your distractions are not just going to be somebody ticked you off at the store. Your distractions are going to be bigger. Your distractions are going to be money. It might be your marriage. It might be your kids. It might be your health. It might be your job. Your distractions are going to be bigger. So that means that you're going to have to be stronger, more committed. You're going to have to trust in God. You're going to have to let go a whole lot of stuff. You might have to let go some people. You might have to let go some habits. You might have to let go some behaviors. You might have to let go of things that you never thought were a distraction. But you're going to come to find out when you start paying more attention. Pay more attention to what you say, how you say it, what your feelings are, why you do things the way you do them. And you will discover that you have some distractions. You will discover you have some issues in your heart that you thought were resolved. You thought you were healed from it. But you see that there's another layer that you had not even considered. Because once you start listening to what you say, you start paying attention to what you do. Start asking, why do I do stuff like this? Why do I talk like that? Why do I respond like that? Why is that a trigger for me? You start to realize you have some other things that you may have thought were resolved, but they're distracting you. They're suffocating you. They are keeping you away from your purpose. And when I say keeping away, I'm going to say diluting your purpose. And I'm going to say that because you have to be accountable in purpose. You have to be accountable. You have to make yourself accountable to committing yourself to God, to committing yourself to living by His will and not your own. And when we are distracted, when we don't pay attention to those things that distract us, we'll say things like, I've always been like that. Or that's how I was raised. And when we was coming up, we did it and I've always done it like this. And that's just how I am. That's just how I talk. God knows my heart. Those are the kind of things that we have in distractions. Those things that are buried deep in us that we just take it on the surface it's no big deal. But the thing is, when you're not really, if you don't understand what's really going on, we don't pay attention. We don't read God's word for wisdom so it can challenge you while you're living this life of purpose. That's what God's word does. It directs us. It corrects us. It challenges us. Because when you read God's word and it's saying what you should do, and you're not doing it. Sometimes you can not do something because you don't know any better. Other times it might be because you've actively decided, this is what I'm going to do. And that's where we have to be accountable. It doesn't mean you're going to be 100% all the time. Nobody is. I'm not 100%, but you have to have it in your mind that you want to understand how you work and what is working against you. What is working against you? Who is working against you to keep you, to suffocate you from your purpose? So pay attention. While you living this life of purpose, while you discovering your purpose, while you are on your journey of purpose and you're doing the things that God has told you to do, pay attention to what you're saying, what you're doing, how you feel, your emotions, and check those. Because our emotions, our feelings, what we think, that doesn't mean anything. We are supposed to be servants, and servants follow. Servants don't lead. Servants are God. So in order for us not to be distracted, we have to pay attention to what is really going on with us. Not what we think, not what we feel, not what somebody tells us we should be doing, should not be doing, but what is really going on, so that we can't have these distractions. Now, if you got one thing going on, imagine if you have a bunch of different distractions going on in your life and swirling in your head and your thoughts. It's hard to pull all that back and to have a conversation with God, talking to him about what he wants you to do. When you got all this stuff rolling in your head about work, about money, about your family, about what somebody said to you at the store and you said and you should have, and all that mess, all that mess is suffocating you. It's distracting you from your purpose. Every day is an opportunity for you to live in your purpose. There's going to be some good days and there's going to be some bad days. But on those days that you can recognize what's important and what's not, is going to make your journey of purpose a lot easier. So think about that a little bit. This is Brenda Devine from Purpose 8 Institute. Hey, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me on my podcast, Living a Life of Purpose, on Anchor and all other major podcast platforms. To learn more about Purpose 8 Institute and our ministry of sharing the importance of purpose, please visit our website, www.purpose8institute.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even TikTok. If you would like to learn more about purpose beyond this podcast, Living a Life of Purpose, you can also purchase one of my books that are available on my website, purpose8institute.com, and also on Amazon.